All right, so a very popular topic that's being talked about a lot right now is why the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. And if you look around, you can see very, very clear examples of this happening all the time. Very, very well off or rich people, seems like their wealth is only growing, and the poor people are having a harder and harder time of getting out of that bad state. Many people just want to say it's luck, it's what you're born into. You know, the rich were born into that, or they have different circumstances that allow them to be rich. And if you're poor, born poor, and then you can't really get out of those circumstances, that's just kind of a bad luck of the draw for you. And there's many videos about this topic that have come out that are great. They show great, tangible, practical reasons why the rich are getting richer. But today I want to give you a different perspective, something that's not talked about very often, that can help you if you're trying to become rich. If you understand the core reasons why the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, it can positively impact your life in every way. So today I want to go ahead and highlight the reasons why the rich are getting richer, but maybe even more importantly than that, I want to showcase why the poor are getting poorer. That way, if you don't feel like you're heading in the right direction, you're not getting richer, you can go ahead and implement these changes to help you head in that right direction. But before we jump into it, if you guys could please do me a huge favor, please help the engagement of the video by smashing the like button down below. Definitely hit subscribe if you haven't already, and definitely leave any comments or questions down below. I love going ahead, connecting with you guys. Definitely turn on that bell so you never miss an upload right when it drops. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it. So the very first thing that I want to talk about is what all of these other great videos about the subject talk about. And those are those practical, tangible reasons why the rich get richer. You know, you've got these books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which talks about why the wealthy get wealthier, the rich get richer, and it comes down to several strategies. You know, you've got the people that are, they inherit wealth, you know, they're born into it. You've got people that, you know, have passive income, you know, millionaires have multiple income streams. They're obviously investing. These are all the different reasons why people like Warren Buffett and really, really well-off people get richer. I can go ahead and showcase this knowledge and give the exact details on why the rich get richer. I can showcase this to someone with a poor mindset, someone that's stuck kind of in that poor zone, and it's not going to help them. Even if they try to take action on this because of deeper, more fundamental reasons, they're not going to be able to get rich with this information. This information is great to put out. You need to go ahead and showcase why the rich are getting richer, but if you don't go ahead and fix the core issues of why the poor are getting poor, they'll never get out of that rut. That's why there's so many people that are struggling to start their first business, or they want to make money online, and so many people are actually struggling to make it happen. It's not necessarily a knowledge problem. It's a deeper, more fundamental reason why. So if you are right now feeling like you're just struggling to essentially create wealth for yourself or get richer, it could come down to much more of a core reason, which we're going to talk about in just a second. All right, so the very first big reason, the very first big core reason why the poor get poorer comes down to their upbringing. So you have rich people and you have poor people. Typically, the reason why you see rich people's kids, they end up being at least somewhat rich, maybe not as rich as their parents, sometimes richer, but they end up being well off in life, comes down to the programming they have from a very early age. Same thing goes with poor people. You know, you've got all your programming and everything from essentially 0 to 7 years old. You have a massive amount of programming of your beliefs, habits, everything that really, really affects your entire life happens during your upbringing. Take, for example, you've got someone that grows up in a rich household, a well-off household. You know, they're gonna grow up knowing about the opportunities in life, knowing about the capabilities of building wealth because they've seen it with their own eyes. On the flip side, you've got the poor person where they have grown up in essentially a world of struggle, feeling like a victim, all of this can create this belief, this limiting belief that they're not able to generate wealth from themselves, and that there's not even really those opportunities out there for them. You know, the poor with that poor mindset don't think that they can actually make it happen for themselves. So a child's upbringing actually comes down to kind of the luck of the draw. You know, this is where I mentioned in the beginning of the video how a lot of people just want to say, you know, it's luck. You know, it's the luck of the draw either way. You either get the good luck and you're born into essentially a rich household, or you get the bad luck of the draw and you're born into bad circumstances with a poor mindset, everything like that. A person's upbringing, you know, it does come down to chance with that on what side, but that doesn't mean it has to affect your entire life. You have all these kind of underdog stories or these rags to riches stories where people essentially come from a very, very poor upbringing and create massive amounts of wealth for themselves. Is because of the mindset and the programming that they do reverse program on themselves to get away from that bad upbringing. And when I say bad upbringing, I'm not saying that a poor person is essentially having, bad parents. There's great, loving parents out there that will give a child a great upbringing, essentially, even if they're growing up in a poor, impoverished state. But that doesn't negate the fact that being in that impoverished state is going to give some limiting beliefs. So the big main reason on why the poor get poorer and the rich get richer, but I really want to highlight on why the poor get poorer, is it becomes self-fulfilling. You believe the habits and beliefs that you have over time through experiences, through your upbringing, through everything, and this essentially, you self-fulfill it getting worse and worse or it getting better and better. This is why you see essentially some of the biggest pockets in America of morbid obesity is surrounded in very, very impoverished places. It has to do with this poor mindset. Same goes with, on the other side, a lot of times the really, really well-off people are some of the most fit people. And it all comes down to mindset. That's how you hear all the time about, someone that's down on their luck financially, it just spirals out of control. They might become an alcoholic from there. They might get on drugs. There's so many different things that it just seems like when someone's life is kind of spiraling down, a lot of times it just gets worse and worse and worse. And that's because it's self-fulfilling. When you truly believe that you are a victim or that things are just happening to you for the worst, that you're unlucky, well, that's what you're putting out there, and that's what becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, essentially. What you believe and what you focus on has massive amounts of power on what you'll actually manifest and what you'll actually make happen throughout your life. So if you believe that there's actual opportunities that you can go out there and grab, you're going to go ahead and make some of those opportunities come true. And on the flip side, if you just think that you're a victim, bad things keep happening to you, there's no good opportunities for you, that's essentially the state that you're going to be stuck in, and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. That's where you hear all the time about rich people, how they talk all the time about manifesting, or how they go through, they spend time envisioning them already having met their goal. That's what they're doing. They're already putting that belief in their head. They already have that belief in their head, whereas person on the flip side in that bad situation, it's going to be all negative thoughts, which is just going to keep them spiraling the drain. Now, the great news is that no matter your upbringing, no matter what situation you're in, you can go ahead and have a positive turnaround on your life. So you can go ahead and be on the side of the rich get richer. If you're in the middle ground, you can go ahead and start generating wealth. And if you feel like you're on the side of the poor get poor, you can go ahead and flip that around for good. And it really only comes down to a few simple things, but this is a very, very kind of deep talk that you're going to have to work on. And I could make a huge long video on this, and this really does take really getting deep with this, but I'll go ahead and give you kind of the quick little steps that you can start working on today. So the first thing that comes down to is knowledge and belief. So one thing that the rich do, you hear all the time about how the rich read so many books, or the rich are doing research. They're going out and investing their time to learn and gain knowledge and wisdom. The other side, and this is just as important, if not important, is the belief. You have to believe that there's opportunities out there for you and that there's a positive opportunity for you. You can go ahead and create a goal and actually make it happen. If you don't have that belief, if you don't actually have a belief that you can make a goal happen, you're not going to make it happen. It's just how it comes down to it. You got to go ahead and change your beliefs. If you have negative beliefs, things are only going to get worse. You've got to have those positive beliefs. The second big thing is you got to go ahead and start creating habits, and you're going to have to practice those habits. So you can't just go ahead and decide right now you're going to go ahead and change your life and then it's changed. Yes, you need to go ahead and make that decision right now, but it's going to take time and practice to build those very, very positive habits, those habits that you are changing your life around. So if you've got one of those, poor mindsets right now, chances are is that you're not spending your time in a valuable way, all that. You're going to have to go ahead and take some time and have practice with it to go ahead and create and solidify those very, very positive habits to get you to work for your goals. And those are the two big things. If you go ahead and change your belief pattern, you go ahead and start learning and really investing in getting knowledge and then you go ahead and you work today on changing your habits or creating new positive habits, and then practicing to solidify those habits, to really have a positive day-to-day life, you will change your life and you will get richer and richer and richer. And this talk doesn't necessarily just apply to finance. When I say the rich get richer, it doesn't just mean the rich are making more money, although that's typically what happens. But you can go ahead and change your entire life for better if you focus on this for your entire life. If you go in it and you think of having a rich mindset versus having a poor mindset, someone with a poor mindset typically doesn't have good relationships. They're typically spinning in bad habits, all kinds of stuff. If you go ahead and you focus on having a richer mindset, it'll change your entire life in a very positive way. But I can definitely expand on what we talked about in this video a lot more. Like I said, this talk could be very long, and I could definitely expand these steps into more tangible steps that you could start doing. And if you guys would like me to do a video, definitely drop a comment down below on that. I'd love to go ahead and do a video on that for you guys. But if you enjoyed this, please go ahead and smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely leave a comment. Ask any questions you guys might have. I'm here for you guys. Keep grinding, y'all, and I'll see you in the next video.